and Randy Moss, without even really being able to run as he shoots the moon to the
pass, pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the pressure, fires to the end zone. It's hot! It's Greg Lewis! Oh my heavens! Greg Lewis's first catch has given the Minnesota.
Four, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another show of House Calls brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. Joining me, as always, is Dave. Dave, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Not as upbeat as I hoped I'd be after this game, but I didn't even. I decided to wait for my my critique for this show, and rather than doing one of my own, so I waited.
Yeah, I'm glad that you started us out there because that's kind of where I wanted to start the show, which is a lot of fans are down on an 8-2 Vikings team after the last 3 games, just because the Vikings didn't score enough style points over the last 3 weeks. Like, we won, but fans wanted to win in dominant fashion, and that's not necessarily what we got. And the Lions, leading the division, are beating teams like the Jaguars by 50 points, blowing them out, scoring 400 yards or like doubling them up on yards, scoring 400 plus yards on them. So I get it. To me, the biggest thing is the record and setting yourself up for playoff success. But I understand it. So I wasn't as down on as I was watching the Titans game, and we were hosting friends and whatnot. We had a little Friendsgiving thing going on during the game, so I couldn't be fully invested in the game like usual. So I was kind of like trying to watch and swear under my breath rather than out loud to the TV. But I thought it was a dominant performance once again. This time the score showed that a little bit more so than the Colts game, more so than the Jaguars game. I mean, the Vikings still won handedly, but they can't give up that 100-yard play. That's unacceptable. You know what I mean?
So, speaking of that, there was like 2 times during the game where it was like a 3rd and long and we gave up a big play, right?
Yeah.
Because we blitzed and we sat back and let people throw under and we tackle them short of the goal line and make them punt. For some reason, this game, he decided to blitz. And honestly, that was a terrible angle by Metellus. This is not the first time he's ever been burnt deep like that in his life. I think like Tampa last year, or first game of the season, that was an example of him just getting burnt. But yeah, he just took a really bad angle and he was backpedaling. Take the angle to get the ball. I don't know what he was doing on that, but he should have been there. It was a play he could have made. It was I don't know. It was like he didn't expect it to happen, right? But that was a time where I'm like, okay, 3rd and 11. Why blitz? We're gonna get great field position. Why? I don't think that was a great time to hit. And he did that a couple of times during this game, and both times we got beat. And I think it was just different. I don't know why he was different when it's been so successful most of the time, where we had them, a 3rd and long, and we kept them from getting first down. That's something we haven't been doing. I just don't know why he took chances on those 2 plays. But overall, I thought it was a good defensive game. I think we underestimated. I think you talked about the beat writer from Tennessee talking about. I think we underrated their defense. It seemed pretty legit. Their defense seemed pretty legit, and it did very well against us.
Well, their defensive line is legit, and that's the recipe to stifle this Vikings offense, is to manhandle our offensive line. Garrett Bradbury is a very small center, okay? He's not going to get any push on these guys. He's been dominated by guys throughout his entire career, like Kenny Clark, the guy from the Bears who killed us for years. Like, he struggles against big tackles like that. So this was a really tough team to run the ball against, and that showed because it made Sam Darnold pretty much carry the entire game plan. And thankful to Sam Darnold, he had his best graded Pro Football Focus game of his entire career. He was great.
I thought he played very well.
He was great.
I thought that was definitely a better. It was a positive game for him for sure. I don't know about grades or whatever. I think he maybe had more like explosive games. It would have helped if Naylor would catch the ball.
Yeah, we look at that
totally
game
helped if Naylor
different.
could catch a ball.
If that game's now 30-13, we're talking about a different tone.
That was a hell of a good. It was a little underthrown, just a little. He had to slow up for it, but it was still easily open. Nobody touched him. Went right through his hands.
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing probably for a wide receiver like Naylor to not get a ball thrown his way, more than once or twice a game, because it's like my analogy is like in golf. When I'm waiting for a foursome to finish ahead of me and I'm literally waiting for 20 minutes in between hitting the ball, you get cold. You know what I mean? Like you don't have the action coming your way. And then all of a sudden you got to turn it on and make the play. And he's a professional. He's got to do it. But I just think that's a little bit of what was happening. Just like earlier in the season when Addison had a couple brain dead errors, running the wrong route or lining up incorrectly, because sooner or later it's like, dude, the ball's not coming my way. And you just lose a little bit of focus. It's hard to stay engaged, but Naylor's got to pick it up, man. That's 2 games in a row now that we've caught him kind of lacking, right?
Was it the last game or was it the Indy game that he didn't get that touchdown?
It was the Jaguars game.
It was the Jaguars game?
Yeah.
So shout out to SKOL for Life, Six Shooter Nation, GG Sports. What's up, man? If you guys are still on, School State of Mind. We got Achievable to Hope. Thanks for joining, and member for 3 months. He's my only member. All right. So a while back, you didn't know this, but I got demonetized, so I lost any members that I have. So I restarted. He's the only one that rejoined as a member.
Respect, dude.
What's that? I
said respect.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I do feel like Naylor isn't a lost cause by any means, because he has shown some actually great plays. I think he was the San Francisco play, right? I think it was him. He got thrown behind him, made that nice little unbalanced catch. He's made some, I think some Moss type catches this year a little bit earlier in the season. Yeah, like you said, he hasn't been seeing the ball a whole lot lately, but holy crap, when you got Powell just making ungodly catches, he done it like 2 or 3 times last year, and he goes and makes another one for a first down that they had to overturn. He doesn't drop that ball, so maybe that's something. Powell's kind of earned his stock went up a little bit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Too Evil to Hope wants to talk about the running game, and I think his you want to pull that comment up. It talks about KOC is not the greatest run play caller, it seems. Yeah, man. It's every season now, that we've seen negative EPA, expected points added, with the run game with Kevin O'Connell. I love him. You call him your forever coach. Like, we are big KOC fans. When we got Aaron Jones in this building, it seemed like that was going to take a step forward, and the running game was definitely better. But now, obviously, Aaron Jones is a little beat up right now. I think that the running game is going to take a little bit of a step back with, obviously, Christian Darrisaw out. Cam Robinson, that's not his forte. He's not a great run blocker. And now you're replacing your right guard with Evan Ingram, who was like the 46th of 80-something run blocker. Like, he was fine. But now you're moving to Dalton Reisner, who's probably 60 or 70 out of 80 run blocking. So, yeah, it's going to get worse. And the one thing that I would say about this is, if you got a center who was bigger and you got some guards like with some legit size, Brando's a big guy, but if you got a right guard who was just an ass kicker, I'm sure that Kevin O'Connell could call a run game. But that interior offensive line, in my opinion, is really preventing this run game from being a good run game.
Yeah, we averaged 2.5 yards. Now keep in mind, I think we're averaging over 4 in the year, but I still feel like it's improved from the past couple of years. So, and I felt like we started off pretty strong. So I don't know. There's things we've gotten away from, I think, and we don't do the screen game anymore, and if here's another situation is like get under center. Get under center. I don't know. I freaked out when we're second and goal at the 1.
Yeah,
And we were in a shotgun fade.
So I'm going to defend that a little bit. Matthew Collar on his show was tearing that apart too. A fade route is historically a bad play on the goal line. Not a great play to run. Percentages are pretty low. But when you're running a one-on-one fade with Justin freaking Jefferson as your target, that does improve your odds quite a bit. He's probably over a 50% catch on that route there. It didn't happen. Like, it didn't work. But if you're going to run a fade route, run it to Justin Jefferson one-on-one. Don't you agree?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it to your best player.
Right.
He is only 6 foot. He is long for a 6 foot guy, though. So that's a plus. And yeah, he's got good hands and good body control and all that. So I mean, obviously, but I think when you're under center at the goal line, it gives you more options than shotgun.
You look at this team though that they're playing. They weren't running the ball successfully in short yardage all damn day. Tavondre Sweat's 400 fucking pounds, and then Jeffrey Simmons is also 350. Like, they're just kicking your ass in the middle all day. Like, definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
How many times we ran the quarterback sneak?
Yeah, that's the only play that worked, short yardage, and I was all for it. That's good coaching right there.
I didn't like the one where we were like 1.5 yards away though, and it didn't look like we got it, but we got the penalty, the offside penalty.
That was third down though, right?
What's that?
It was third down, right?
I mean, we still would have needed the,
yeah.
I don't know what.
Essentially, what I'm saying is, Kevin
where
O'Connell,
were we on the field though? That would have been a punt, I think, if we didn't get it.
Are you sure they don't just do another sneak if it's fourth and
well,
inches?
that's possible too.
Because that's what I think Kevin O'Connell was thinking, is that this is 2 down play here with a 3rd and 1.5, and we're just going to do 2 sneaks and get it.
I don't know. I think wasn't it 4th down? I don't know. I'd have to go back and check.
I don't remember.
I think it was. I remember thinking, oh, we didn't get it. And then like it was bad. I just remember thinking that. But yeah, we got the penalty and we got the first down, so that's crazy. 98-yard. I'm looking at that. Nick Westbrook Akeem, 2 receptions, 117 yards.
Yeah. That play there's no reason to be that aggressive in that situation. None at all. You're going to force a punt and go score on the next drive anyways.
It's a timing thing too. Every play's got, timing. 6-shooter nation, and it's not necessarily just give me a play and we'll run it. It's like how you teach it and how you coach it. And I said this in the off season. I think we should, and I don't know if we did. I don't think we did. Get a run game coordinator. Have a run game coordinator, someone that's just a guru about running the run game, and get him in here to just develop, this run game. And I guess it does start with what's up front. And Too Evil to Hope said the first 5 weeks, I feel like we were running the ball really well. I don't feel desperate about it. I think this was one bad game of running the ball. I think overall we've, have had over 100 yards, and we have had effective running game. Someone would always step up for us. We haven't had the whole team suck. Like this game at running the ball, we always had someone seem to step up. But yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, Christian Darrisaw played the first 5 games when we were good at
That's
running the ball, guys. Like, Christian Darrisaw is a fucking ass kicker.
Yeah.
It sucks that he's gone.
I wish that he gets through having injuries and he has I hope this doesn't affect him long term. I just doesn't.
Me too.
Because he was devastating. He's devastating.
I don't think it will. I think he'll be fine. ACL surgery has come so far now. Like, versus where it used to be, that I think he'll be absolutely fine. Just sucks. Like the way that you get injured like that, it's not his fault. He's just blocking someone. Someone rolls up and
Yeah,
behind
that was
you.
just completely a fluke.
Yeah.
And it was on a run play.
Yep.
And I don't blame, people were blaming KOC calling that. I mean, we're inside the 1 yard line. We're trying to make room, and yes, you run the ball so you can kneel.
Yeah, or you can sneak or something. But I agree.
It's just a basic run play, and you want to run off your biggest guys, right, to just get that extra yard or two so you can kneel the ball, and that's what happened. I don't know if you ever seen the movie All the Right Moves. It's one of Tom Cruise's first movies. Great football movie, and they were winning the game, and they fumble it in their own end zone, kind of like Seattle did, but they were just trying to get yardage, get out of the end zone and to end the game, and that's how they lost. And it's just, but yeah, that's kind of what reminds me of that, like Seattle fumbling on the snap, but this, just trying to get that extra yardage so we could just kneel and walk out of here. And sure enough, that's how Darisaw loses the season. It's just completely the Vikings way. Just like something that happens to the Vikings.
What did you think about that toss for a fumble on the first drive?
I thought it was more weird that the next running play, we ran a toss.
Yeah, I think that's Kevin O'Connell's way of saying, get the fuck over it. Figure it out. You're grown men playing NFL football. Make a toss.
It was Sloan. It was thrown to his back arm. Never a good thing. Needs to lead him. I thought he drilled it to him a little bit. It was more of a, again, a timing thing, a repetition. I'm not a big fan of toss sweeps or toss plays in the NFL. I don't know. I like draw plays when they're needed. I like stretches, things like that. But I don't know. Just a toss play, just it's a little more risky. You think you should be able to get it because the game is so fast. The game is so fast. I like to be running downhill, not pitching the ball out wide. I do like pitching it if it's deceptive. We every once in a while, and we did it more with Kirk about 2 years ago, where we did this reverse pitch, and I like when it's deceptive, but I just don't. I haven't seen the pitch play work that much, and it looks like the one time a show we lose our leader of the show, SKOL Doc, and it just so happens to be today. Now, just a few shout outs. Most of the shout outs are probably defensive, but Sam Darnold, I thought had a very good game. It wasn't a whole lot of saying. It would have been a lot better if Naylor caught that ball, but it was a very solid game for him. I'm just doing a few shout outs. I was talking about like Sam Darnold. If the Naylor catches that ball, we'd be talking even more about it. Justin Jefferson was pretty solid all game. We'll talk about over-unders here in a little bit. That big play to Jordan Addison on the digger out, beautiful. Get him the ball in space. He was wide ass open. Perfect play. Honestly, Trent Sherfield's been pretty solid when he gets his opportunity, and people talk about him as being a good run blocker. With a guy like Naylor dropping balls and not getting even one catch in this last game, got targeted twice. A guy like that might step up. Again, Brandon Powell with the big catch. Didn't see a whole lot of TJ Hawkinson, but again, Josh Oliver stood out again to me. I feel like we're utilizing them very well. How do you feel about that? I think we still got frozen Skoldock here. Now, defensively, Pat Jones and Andrew Van Ginkel came to play. Van Ginkel's been so just dynamic, absolutely dynamic. He's just a Swiss Army knife out there. He just dominated this game. Greener didn't. Greener was solid. He's been solid all year. Defensive backs. Stephon Gilmore got beat. couple of times. He didn't have his best game. Cashman played pretty solid. He got that sack early on. I really liked that. Overall, it's pretty solid. Josh Metellus giving up that 98-yarder. Honestly, no excuse for getting turned around like that. Just take the angle, take the correct angle. A little rough.
Bro, the internet. I have someone coming out tomorrow. I might be switching internet. I'm sick of this.
Starlink. I'm kidding. I was just pointing out. I asked you, but you're frozen. Josh Oliver continues to impress me. How do you feel about that?
Dude, I love Josh Oliver. I just he's not gonna be able to go this week. He tweaked his ankle. I don't know if that's a low sprain or a high sprain. I'm hoping it's a low ankle sprain, which likely just means one game missed. But I believe that I saw somewhere that he's gonna be out this week.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. If we on the injury report. Oh, I didn't even notice Bo Richter got some play. He got 2 tackles.
Probably special teams, I'm guessing.
Oh, probably. So I was saying that guys that kind of stood out again, Van Ginkel and Pat Jones. Greeners was solid again. Blake Cashman had that sack early. Just solid game by those guys. Guys that got kind of beat a little bit were Stefan Gilmore, I thought. And then again, Metellus. Just there's no excuse for the way he played that ball. He just wasn't ready. I don't know, misjudged it. It wasn't expecting it. I don't know. I can't explain that one.
Yeah, I agree. I thought in terms of other guys who got beat, Reisner didn't grade particularly well, but again, he's going against one of the best defensive tackles in the game, and it's his first game playing in a long time. So I thought he actually held his own for playing his first game against that guy. So I wasn't too upset with Reisner's game. I'm happy that they made that switch. Tyler Forno was pretty vocal that he wasn't for that. And he was kind of pointing out some of his
I think he wrote an article about it. I'm actually going to do a reaction video to that.
Yeah. So listen, like in my thing to Tyler, and Tyler's my guy, it's like, dude, like KOC is not the type of coach that generally makes that move. So the fact that they pulled the trigger on that tells me that they are absolutely not happy with Ed Ingram. And the thing with Ed Ingram is that when he loses so damn quickly, right? It's got to be a slow bleed. You got to lose slowly. And that's what Reisner does. So they must not think that the drop-off in the run game is going to be that significant for the positives that he can provide you for pass protection up the middle, which is crucial for Sam Darnold's game. I think interior pressure affects him greatly.
Reisner had a 55 grade against Seymour versus banging back. I guess
that's not bad. 55 is not that bad against Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah. They should have Josh Oliver more on third down, red zone. I mean they do. I think that's how he's got his touchdowns. Was sneaking out off to the flat and getting that wide open ass touchdown. He's done that a couple of times. He had that awesome catch. Was it against Jacksonville? I think. He just his confidence is there now. I feel like he's being used properly, and he's still got that deception because they're throwing it to him. What the hell? I mean, I don't know how many snaps. Did you know how many snaps that TJ Hawkinson?
I saw him on the sideline a lot. 38%.
Yeah, I seen him on the sideline a lot. So
yeah, they're clearly still working him back.
Yeah, definitely.
And
let me look at how many plays, because we came back with like 65 and or 70 and 80 plays. Let me look at how many actual plays that we had.
We probably hit the under on TJ Hawkinson, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Where are the plays? 67 plays. I mean, that's still getting up there compared to what we were early in the season. 24 first downs. We moved the ball. Now, we did get help. Not that they didn't deserve penalties, but we did get a lot of help with penalties. I can see where they could call that. We got that ball at the 1 because they called it. They didn't call it defenseless receiver.
They called it launching.
Yeah, I saw him leave his feet,
and
he hit him in the chest, and there was helmet to chest.
Right.
So I can see why they would call that. It in past years it would have just been a normal hit, right? It's like
Yeah. Ben Lieber was right there, and he was saying it was a bullshit call. He wouldn't have called that.
I wouldn't
So
call it either.
I would have been pissed if it was called on us. You know what I mean? Like he hit him really hard in the chest area. Seemed clean to me. Launching or not
Can't
launching. I
hit
thought the
people
whole
high,
launching.
can't hit people low.
Yeah, what the hell are you supposed to do? Right? And that's where the whole Kirby Joseph thing came in, where it's like, okay, well, he's trying to tackle 6'7" dude running real fast down the field. Where is he supposed to hit CJ? You know, hopefully not in his damn ACL, but
Not square in the knee.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right?
With your head down.
With your head down, I know, but you get the point. Like these guys are in lose-lose situations.
But
hey,
yeah,
we'll
I mean, so yeah, and they had some big those, and then they had those 2 penalties where they had the guy off the line of scrimmage of illegal formation.
Yeah,
that's
wiped
their
off
own doing.
50-yard
They only call that
touchdown.
if people got warned.
Right.
They think if you got called the first time, you wouldn't do it the second time. And I think it called back a touchdown, right?
It did. Yeah. 50-yard touchdown to Calvin Ridley.
So that's why I feel like I wasn't so excited about the end of this game, is because a lot of we got a lot of big plays called back because of penalties that weren't like, they weren't like flagrant, like cheating type of penalties. You know, it's like,
yeah, there's a lot of holding on their defense, and we're seeing a lot of that against these Vikings receivers, is people are holding the hell out of Jefferson, right? And so that's getting called, and you're getting a lot of tic-tac calls against Justin Jefferson. But hey, that's what happens when you have a superstar. They're going to protect them. They want them to get their stats, get their plays.
13 to penalties to 3.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, though? Like, kudos to the Vikings coaching staff, because penalties were an issue for the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And they've absolutely cleaned that up, for sure.
Yeah, we gradually got less and less procedure penalties and lining up off the line of scrimmage. And, Sam Darnold wasn't waiting for his guys to get set after a motion, or let's say they were on the wrong side. He called them, "Oh, get over here." And then he didn't wait for him to get fucking set, realizing you had a guy in motion already. He had a couple of plays like that earlier in the year. Yeah, you're right. It's being cleaned up. It's definitely being cleaned up.
Especially on the road, when you've been on the road for 2 weeks in a row to cut down the penalties. That's kind of impressive too. One thing I did notice during the game yesterday was the Vikings need to be careful a little bit on that short motion they like to do in the bunch, when they have like 3 guys in a bunch to the left or whatnot, and then they motion the inside guy to the outside to change up the defensive coverage rules.
Yeah.
The defensive ends are starting to time that up pretty well and get a good.
Oh yeah, that's a great
snap. Because once you see that short motion, they're firing off the ball. So if you could just wait a split second on that, maybe get a offsides penalty. But I noticed that twice during the game, was that whoever was
do a hard count and just stop the motion.
Yeah, whoever their right end was, he was feeding off of that tell and getting some pressure on Darnold quick.
Yeah, let's write that in. We need they need a comment section at the the Vikings practice facility. So yeah, we should have a write-in box there. Hey, did you think about this? But yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's a great observation. I didn't even think about that. We didn't get the turnovers we thought we'd get. I mean, obviously threw one late, but that was just late in the game trying to make a play, throwing it downfield, overthrew. He just overthrew his dude. But Will Levis played probably as good as he could ever play.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, he's taking care of the football.
Runs the ball a little bit too.
Yeah, I was expecting him to throw the ball to us several times. Like I kept saying, I expect a defensive touchdown this game, but he took care of the ball pretty well until he had to throw up a prayer at the end of the game where Harrison Smith got his pick, which we called, by the way.
Yeah. Every time Harrison Smith gets a pick or does something big, it just warms my heart. Been one of my favorite players his entire career. I tell every once in a while I bring this up. I was a Notre Dame fan for the longest time, and I would look at Rivals.com, and here he was 2009 or whatever, and I think it was 2000. I forget what year it was. I think it was 2009. He was getting recruited, and he was an athlete. He was a running back and I think linebacker or something like that, or safety for for a high school in I think Knoxville, and he was getting signed, or he was committing to a Notre Dame. And then when we ended up drafting him, I was like, that's pretty awesome. I had a friend that said he was trash, and he was a Notre Dame fan. I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought it was a great pick, and he's just been awesome for us. So,
and I like that the broadcast was calling him future Hall of Famer. Like, he's starting to get that respect.
And every time I see somebody saying, "Oh, he's in the Hall of Very Good," fuck you.
Look at his stats. He's already in. Like, look at his stats.
Just comparing to Polamalu.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a first ballot. You compare his stats to Polamalu or any of those guys.
If Harrison Smith was
get Ed Reed out of there. Get like Ronnie Lott out of there.
If Harrison Smith was a Hawaiian guy with a Head and Shoulders commercial, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, Polamalu did some really splashy things that just got on the highlights a lot. So he was able to time block punts and, quarterback sneaks and cause turnovers like that. But you put interceptions, you put tackles, you put sacks. He's got better numbers than him.
Yep.
And there's longevity, but even when they were at the same amount of years, he still had better stats. So he passes the only problem was like no one's ever put him on an all-pro team.
I know.
I don't think.
Yes, that's a big indictment.
He doesn't got many Pro Bowls. That many,
I think he's good on the Pro Bowls.
I mean, it was like 6 or something like that, right?
I think he's got like 8.
Has he got 8? Okay.
Whatever. Collar always brings up this something monitor who looks at the requirements to make the Hall of Fame or whatever. It's called something monitor. I can't remember the name of it, but
by any standard, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
100%. Yeah, it basically said that he should be in.
One of my past co-hosts would always call him the Hall of Very Good, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. We're not looking at the same player here.
No, he's been probably my favorite Minnesota Viking now for a long time. That guy's just been fantastic.
And I don't know if I ever told you this, but when I interviewed Paul Krause, I asked him, who's a player you'd want to play with? And he said Harrison Smith. If he could play with anybody, he said he would want to play with Harrison Smith.
Yeah. Just he brings everything to the table.
Number 22. So
physicality, ball skills, intelligence. I mean, just everything. Not so much the speed anymore that he used to have.
What's that?
Not so much the speed anymore that he used to have.
So he was like the general back there. Like you don't see it or know it, but he knows the game so well and he gets people in the right spots back there. And it was a big difference from Donashell to the next. Whenever he was out during the year of Donashell, the safeties just didn't know what the hell they were doing. And when he was in there, they played really good. And and then the next year, you have Cam Bynum going from giving everybody a perfect quarterback rating to being like the next big thing. And shout out to Cam Bynum. He in his celebrations, Charlie Walters suck it. Or no, it was not. No, it's Royce. Royce from Score North saying gonna give him the turkey for celebrating anything over 6 seconds or something like that. Oh, dude, this is awesome to see him come out with those different celebrations.
Patrick Royce with Score North.
Yeah, I think he does Score North. Patrick Royce, I think is his name.
Yeah,
older guy.
Yeah, Cam Bynum's playing his way out of Minnesota, but good for him. He's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah. Do we? I don't know. Do we move on from Harrison Smith and give him money, or?
I don't know, man. You got Theo Jackson waiting in the wings. He's probably going to be playing here next year. And then Josh Metellus doesn't leave the field. He can rotate in as a true safety. I honestly don't think that. I think Harrison's playing next year. I think he's told us as much. and I don't think he's going anywhere. So he'll play here until
I think
he's
he's
done.
still got enough in him that you want to take a shot, another crack at it with the
he took a pay cut to be here. Like I don't see him leaving.
And we're in that window, you know. He like, hey, let me just hang on here. Let me hang on. And he loves football.
Yeah, and he loves Minnesota. Like he took a pay cut to stay here. Now he believed that this team had a chance to be pretty good, but nobody else did, right? Like his agent was probably telling him the Vikings weren't going to be that damn good this year. He could have left.
I just think he wants to play football, and this, what you know, and this is I think he considers it family and his home, and there's not and he said it. I think I have none of my friends are here anymore. You know, they're all moved on. He's like the only guy from his draft class. You know, it's the only guy from honestly anybody 2017 season.
Shit, there's not very many people from his draft class in the NFL still.
Yeah, but even from like the 2019 season.
Right. Yeah.
Who? You know, it's like trying to think.
Was Josh Metellus on that team?
No, I think 2020 was his rookie year, wasn't it? He's a fourth year guy, right? Yeah, I want to say 2019. Yeah. Because he was a rookie when I first started YouTube, so it wasn't 2019.
Yeah, he might legit be the only guy left then.
God, I'm trying to think. I can't think. Oh, no, Justin Jefferson 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. Defensively, I can't think of a guy. Daniil Hunter was the last guy I think last year. I can't think of a single dude. The 2019. That's insane. Oh, sorry. Our fullback.
CJ Ham. Yeah, that's the only one.
Our fullback. Darisaw was 2020. No. 20.
Trying to remember.
2021.
Yeah, he's the year after Jeff.
2021. He was after Justin. Oh, Brian O'Neill. Probably Brian O'Neill. So yeah. Brian O'Neill. Yeah. CJ Ham. That's crazy. Can't even think of anybody else. I don't think so. Oh, is DePaulo our long snapper? I guess Bradbury, right? Bradbury? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what year. 19?
Yeah, probably because he re-signed. So 2019. But yeah, he's just says Bradbury. So I was right, Bradbury. 2019. Yeah, it's not many, and that's what 5 years ago. That's crazy. He turned this team over. How about Ed Ingram being like the last starter from his 2022 draft class? Gone.
Is what it is. I don't care.
And then you got Naylor dropping balls.
Don't settle for the sunk cost fallacy. You know what I mean? The player ain't good. Don't play him. Do what's best for the team.
Well, you replace guys with better players. It's not like we missed out, but it's always good to build within. But then you also got our running back, not Naylor and Ty Chandler not contributing as much as they were.
If Kwesi hits on JJ McCarthy and Dallas,
everybody will forget.
Nobody will give a damn. And if he's as good this next year in free agency when we have all this money to spend, this team's a Super Bowl contender now, but we're going to be an even better Super Bowl contender next year potentially.
I think, like when he got hurt, I said I don't think we lost any games because we didn't have our rookie quarterback. No. But I do believe just the limitations of Sam Darnold with his he's late sometimes. He's too focused on Justin Jefferson. Just there's limitations there. I don't feel like I just feel like based on just the limited time that I saw, he impressed me so much. Just thinking about how he was able to bounce back from mistakes that he made during the game, and Sam Darnold seemed to like just continue to snowplow his mistakes during the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way the
Yeah,
beat writers talk
Ty
about
Chandler is bad at pass blocking, and that's why I said, we Cam Akers was going to take over the number 2 spot.
But in regards to JJ McCarthy, the way that the beat writers evolve their opinion about him through training camp and just how much he improved. And there was some that really thought that he was on his way to start week 1, that he was improving that much. There was a report that he was going to get some first team snaps in Cleveland at the practices there. And unfortunately, that's when we found out he was injured. So in my opinion, him being out this entire season, I still think that he's able to grow and get his feet wet in the NFL and just kind of see how things work in the NFL. So in terms of like his progression, I think he can still progress despite not playing this year.
Yeah, I want to. Is it potentially possible that he's completely healthy for the entire offseason? Or how soon is his recovery time?
Yeah, I think realistically, he should be ready to go in the springtime for sure. By the time that the first OTA comes around, he should be good to go.
That would be good. If he can get out there for OTAs, I think that would be good, because he was struggling in OTAs, I believe, last year. And then when he went to camp, he was like a new guy. Like he started to get it. Like he could tell he was getting it.
Yeah, I think they were messing with his footwork so much that his accuracy was just like, whoa, where's that football going? You know what I mean? Like it's when you're thinking so much, again, a golf analogy, but when you're thinking about little things in your swing and you're focusing on one little thing and you end up shanking the ball because you're not thinking about your wrist angle at impact or something like that. I think that's kind of what he was fighting with, getting that football to end up where he wanted it to go. And they were just trying to build his mechanics from a base level and build it all the way up. And then by the end, by the time that they were in training camp playing the Raiders, we saw exactly how good his accuracy looked. I mean, with that deep ball to Tristan Jackson down the left sideline.
And that's what I was talking about, how he anticipates,
right?
That Sam Darnold doesn't necessarily. I felt like, wow, he anticipated that guy and threw an accurate ball and let him run underneath it. That for a rookie in his first game, that impressed the hell out of me.
For sure.
Bob Sweet says 15-2, of course. Still there. We still have it. Daniel Faw, just if you haven't subscribed, if you're new to the channel, just make sure you subscribe. We do this Tuesday nights live, and then we do a Sunday morning pregame that we record and play. But yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting off season. I think everybody's going to be excited on what JJ's going to do. We're going to have this brief blip where we figure out if we are going to, the rumors of extending Sam Darnold will happen and they won't happen. And then we'll be full turned over to JJ McCarthy. And then we're just looking at how to build a team around him, right? How to improve this line, or, improve the defensive line, fill in the gaps. Draft is going to be like 3 dudes. So that's not going to be as fun. The draft isn't going to be as fun, but it is going to be pretty cool to see who we'll get with that first pick.
100%.
You want to look at the over-unders that we did?
Yeah, let's do that.
So Justin Jefferson, oh, shit. It was 81.5.
What'd he end up with?
81.
Wow. Wow.
81.
Bad beat.
We lost that one. Keep your score. Just so I don't have to do it.
Okay.
So I'm 0-1. Okay, I think you beat me on this one. So Aaron Jones. I was over, you were under. You kicked my ass on this one. So I'm 0-2. Yeah, it just wasn't there in the run game. This go. I thought early on it was looking all right, but 15 carries, 39 yards. It wasn't for a lack of trying. Cam Akers got 10 touches, pretty good. We're definitely and Sam Darnold had 8 runs. And, we talked about this, and speaking of Sam Darnold, we talked about how he did that reverse out of the pressure. Tennessee must not saw the scouting report because it worked against them.
Yeah.
And it didn't work against other teams. Jordan Addison, I think I tweeted you on the first catch for that touchdown. It's like Jordan Addison equals over.
Yep.
No comment?
No, I agree.
All right.
I liked your comment.
Okay. So I'm 1-2. Okay, so 1-2.
I'm 2-1.
I am definitely 1-3. TJ Hawkinson, you got 8. Well, how many yards? You got 2 for 13 yards.
Not a good game.
So we can't trust him. And then this one, holy shit, was I off? You picked the over on Will Levis. He threw for 295 yards.
Yeah.
When I saw that 98-yard, and think about it, 98 yards. Holy shit.
Yep.
That was over. So I was taking a chance on that. So I'm 1-4, 1-5 now, or 1-4. So last one, Sam Darnold.
Just hit the over.
246. We both picked the over. So I'm 2-4. And what are you?
4-2. So I think we're tied now for the season.
Nope. I'm 1 up on you.
Gotcha.
Here. So I'm up by, so you'll be 4, so that's 21. I'll be 22. So big comeback. Big comeback for you. Yeah, that was a tough one for me. That one hurt.
Yeah, it's a tough week.
But some of these quarterbacks, Will Levis, that looked good. Bo Nix, 4 touchdowns, 290 some yards, I think. There's some quarterbacks coming out of these last couple draft classes. Who knows? What do you think about the Packers-Bears game?
Yeah, it was on the same time as our game, so I didn't get to, I was kind of following along a little bit, but it seemed like the Bears had the Packers right where they wanted them for a large portion of that game. Jordan Love threw a red zone interception on the goal line, so that kept the Bears in the game for a while. Caleb Williams looked better, especially in like the 2-minute drill. He looked more comfortable than he has in a while. I still don't think he's thrown for a touchdown in the last 4 weeks, though. So there's kind of a low-scoring game, just the way that Chicago wants to play, and then came down to the final kick. And in my opinion, the Packers should have been called for a penalty for roughing up that long snapper. I think that not only did they contact him, which you're not supposed to do, but also there was someone forcing the defender like a tush-push type thing, and that's supposed to be illegal as well. So I think they broke multiple rules to block that kick.
Yeah. And it would have been nice because we would have been, distance ourselves from the Packers.
Yeah. And me, I was happy to see the Bears lose because I live here.
And I wasn't feeling too bad about it either because I still can't get over how cocky these fucking Bears fans are.
And part of me just has confidence that we are better than the Packers anyway, so fuck them. Their quarterback last year, Fields, was supposed to be is going to take over the North. He was going to be king of the North, right? In the offseason. King of the North. And he wasn't. And then Caleb Williams is supposed to be the next, Moses here. Generational quarterback, yeah.
Generational. I keep saying that. I'm hurt. Yeah. I hear he's supposed to be generational.
And he ranks last, 138th of 138 quarterbacks in deep accuracy or something like that. Going
shout
back
out to Justin Jefferson, 5 seasons, most yards. I think he beat Torrey Holt or something like that, which is crazy. Torrey Holt, is he in the Hall of Fame?
Gotta be.
I think he did.
Does
Ryan Bears and the Packers.
Will Ryan Poles get fired when they fire Eberflus? I think there's a chance.
Probably should.
Yeah, I mean, really, one of the only good things he's done is that trade, with the Panthers for the number 1 pick that landed on DJ Moore and first overall pick the following year. But God, he's made some bad moves.
Yeah, coaching. I think he probably would have been if he would have just fired his coach last year, went into this season. He probably gets Johnson, right? You think?
Yeah, I don't even know.
You,
Ben Johnson, he didn't want to leave, I thought.
Well, he would have got the head coaching job and pick his quarterback and he had weapons. You'd think he would have went with that offense just fine. You're not gonna, it was a good situation. It still was. I know we don't want to make fun about how it was the best situation ever, but it was a good situation for an offensive coordinator come in. You would have to really like Caleb Williams, though. I think.
Yeah.
You would have to think he is the real deal, and then you think you got the next, again, generational quarterback. You think he would have took it.
Yeah.
And it's not like Caleb Williams is bad or anything. I think he's got he's got talent and everything.
Well, I think right now he's bad. I do.
Well, he's playing bad.
Yeah, I think he's bad. I think that he's not good at doing the things that an NFL quarterback needs to do, like identify pressure, know where your hot read is, get the ball out quickly. He holds the ball extremely long. He takes sacks. Yeah. He doesn't throw for touchdowns because he's taking sacks and they're punting at an unbelievable rate. And
remember he said that he told his punter they drafted that he's not going to have to punt too often.
I remember it all. I remember it all. I live here. This sucks. But this should be a really fun week for the Vikings defense again against the Bears offense that is fundamentally broken. They did show a little bit more signs of life against the Packers, but let's not act like it was a great offensive game that the Bears put together.
This is probably how we felt like we would have played against Richardson against Indy.
Yeah.
That's right, Bob. But
my biggest concern going into this Bears game is the Vikings offense against the Bears defense. Don't let them intercept the ball because they're very good in the secondary. Okay. Don't force shit at Justin Jefferson this week with Jalen Johnson in that secondary. He will intercept the football. You can run against the Bears. They're not a good run defense.
That was all I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, they're not. They're a run funnel. They're like very good against the pass game. They're pretty poor in the run game. The Packers did run successfully all over the Bears. So that's going to be the biggest thing. Aaron Jones is a historical Bear killer. If we could get that guy to tap into some of his Packers days and kill the Bears a little bit, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and what's the weather supposed to be like?
I'll pull it up right now. I'm not sure.
If you don't know, SKOL is in Illinois. How far away from like Chicago are you?
30 minutes without traffic.
30 minutes without traffic, guys.
It's looking like
it's the territory.
It's partly cloudy on Sunday with low of 32 and a high of 48. Let's look at the wind. Wind doesn't look that bad on Sunday. It's going to be like 6 to 9 miles per hour, gust up to 20 miles per hour. But the gusts don't really come until night. So wind won't be too much of a thing.
And Barber says we don't have a run game. I don't know. It's still better than what we've had. We're still not running the ball in the end zone. We're not getting touchdowns.
Talk to me about the run game when we don't have to play those big fucking defensive tackles next week. Chicago, it's going to look completely different. We're going to be able to run the ball a little bit better.
Let's see here. Google. Go NFL offense rankings 24. Let's see here. NFL. Okay. All right. Rushing yards. Yeah, we're down here. We're in the bottom half, but right in the middle. And then what are we yards per carry? Shit. Yeah, we're the 5th worst in the league, or 6th worst in the league. And we definitely don't have very many explosive plays. We got 3 rushes over 20 yards. Rushing first downs. Bottom half of the league. Yeah, I guess we're sneaky bad at running the ball. I didn't expect to look at the stats, just the counting stats like that. But KOC likes to throw the ball. Yeah, 1164. But we're not too far off of being from like 10 spots above us. Yeah, but that 4 yards per carry is not is in the where are we at? We're 6th in the league in yards per carry. 5 touchdowns. That's 3rd in the league. 3rd to the bottom of the league. 3rd worst rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, it's got to improve, but our interior offensive line is not good. And in the red zone, that hurts.
I also do think it's like attempts too, a thing, down in the red zone for touchdowns. I just don't think we do a lot of attempts.
They are finally going to buy a guard in free agency this season. They're going to.
Yeah.
They're going to. They have
you got to think it would be very attractive. It would
Yeah.
be very attractive for a free agent guard.
Yeah, it's time. You need an ass kicker in the middle. And I wouldn't be surprised if they move on from Badbury either. Not that he's bad.
I think because I think he's not going to cost us anything because this is the last year of his extension.
Yeah. I don't think the Vikings are going to trade up and draft Genty. I would love Genty for the Minnesota Vikings, Bob. But with their limited capital and running back just being devalued, I don't see them trading up. Now, I'd be stoked if that guy fell down the board a bit. But one thing to keep in mind, and something that nobody's talking about, is that this running back class is loaded behind Genty. Now, Genty's getting all the accolades, all the attention because he's like legit a superstar. But Iowa's got a stud too. And there's a couple other backs who are going to go in round 2 who have first-round talent. And I do think that you're onto something. I think one of the Vikings' first 2 picks in this draft will probably be a running back. Also, I would not be surprised if the Vikings extended Aaron Jones for like a 1 to 2 year contract.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I think probably 1 year, but I think he likes us that much that he'd probably stay for 1 year.
There's a question earlier from Barber. Says, who do you have to worry about on the Bears defense? Well, number 1, Jalen Johnson. He's a ball hawk. He's a shutdown corner. Him and Justin Jefferson are going to have great battles. Montez Sweat is a great defensive end who plays for them. They'll probably line him up more so on Cam Robinson than Brian O'Neill. Brian O'Neill's been on an absolute tear this season, just having a great season. Good for him. Coming off that Achilles injury, he's just been awesome after that. This guy called it, by the way. I said, don't worry about it. He'll be fine. He's absolutely been fine. Their defensive front 4 in general is pretty good at causing pressure with just 4, and that allows their secondary to be pretty damn good. So it's going to take a good collective pass blocking effort from our offensive line to keep Sam Darnold clean and allow him to find the open guys in the zone because the Bears play a ton of zone. And then the Kyler Gordon's been having a really good season too, and he's not as much of a ball hawk. He's kind of like a little Antoine Winfield. He just flies around making plays and hits you hard and blows shit up all the time. So he's another guy to watch as well.
So I was looking at draft picks. We had our first round, 5th round, and Cleveland's 5th from the Zadarius Smith trade.
And a 3rd round comp pick that's not announced yet.
Are we getting one?
Yeah, we're going to get one.
Oh, because of last year?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins signed somewhere, Danielle Hunter signed somewhere. Due to that money, you're getting a third rounder back.
That'd be good. That makes sense.
Man, Bob likes him some Genty. He's just all about him. He said he's give up a 2026 first for Genty.
It's Jeanty. There you go. I just found that out too because I Googled it Jenty like you spelled it, and it was Genty, Gagea.
Yeah, and Daniel, I agree with you that defensive tackles, like number one on my wish list, absolutely need somebody in the middle of this defense who can rush the passer. I just don't think you're going to find that in free agency. I don't think that guy exists. The Lions McNeil,
at least
guy,
for a decent price.
Yeah, the McNeil guy was supposed to be available, and the Lions just locked him up. Unless we see somebody get cut that we're not expecting, like Chris Jones or something gets cut, sign me the hell up on that one.
Bob was raised on phonics. I agree. Yeah, I was too. Hooked on phonics. Actually, I have no idea what we were taught when I was a kid. I have no idea. But yeah, here we're talking about draft picks. All right. But yeah, that is a little scary. First, fifth, and the fifth. Yeah, we could get a pretty good player out of third round in the draft, I think. And even
I'm a draft fanatic, so we are going to have a lot of fun on this show when it comes to draft season.
Yeah, I am too. I was sitting in my dorm room when I was 19, and I fell in love with the draft on a 19-inch Zenith television. I didn't leave my dorm room for 3 days.
The 19-inch Zenith television that weighs 56 pounds.
Yeah, and I hooked up my Nintendo to it. Or no, Sega. My Sega. That's awesome.
Sega.
Yeah, that's I always wanted to do, and that's honestly my big thing about getting into fantasy. And I want to if you know a guy, SKOL Doc, that wants to do his own thing and make appearances and be the draft guy, have him come. I know you study the shit out of this too, probably, but it's always nice to have a guy that's all he's focused on. And it'd be cool if you ever run into a guy, and you think you like him, tell him, hey, we might have a space for him.
Those guys that I know, they all have. That's what they do, and they have their platforms already.
I'm talking about you come across a guy that does not have.
I'll try. It's hard to find psychotic individuals out there like us, but we'll look for one.
They want the grease.
Someone say mock. I like that thing that Score North does. I want to mock.
Yeah, they play that audio. I haven't watched. Honestly, I haven't watched them since they were rooting for the Packers to beat us last year. So I know I'm a little
salty
about that. But tanking and rooting for the Packers to beat us was just I couldn't watch it, unfortunately. But I still respect what they do. I catch clips. I catch clips of them.
I was on their side. You know me. I think you knew that I was on their side of the argument on that one. But
it's probably how we met. I think I don't know.
No, well, maybe I don't know. We initially met over Kirk Cousins' discourse.
I think. You were talking shit to a guy, and I said, "Dude, you're a doctor. What are you doing on the internet?"
Oh yeah,
talking shit to a guy.
No fear, man. No fear.
I remember that. And then we're like civil to each other. I'm like, oh, hey.
Oh yeah, like I will go at you if I disagree with you, but like in a respectful manner. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's funny.
But I get that a lot.
Let's mock.
I get that a lot. Like people are like, I'll not to be I don't know what the word is, but I'll disagree with somebody, right? And it comes off as unprofessional, I guess, like some of the stuff that I say. And it's like, whoa, you're a doctor. And it's like, yeah, but I'm allowed to have a personality. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a robot. You come into the clinic, I'm not going to be dropping F-bombs or whatnot. But I mean, this is my free
you know,
time. I'm on Twitter.
I try to come with like, stats and facts, and I get you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. You're a loser. Look at this guy. He only got 50 people watches this show. It's like, I get insults back, and I come with stats and, opinions from actual players about him and what his coaches think. And, I always try to bring like, actual facts and shit with me. And then I get loser, dumbass. Just
block those people and move on. You can't.
And I'm like,
argue with stupid.
I'll DM and go, "Are you okay, man? I mean,
yeah,
okay." I've done that to people, and they're like,
okay.
"Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I don't know what got over me."
Daniel says, "I hated Kirk Cousins. I'll admit it. Like I never hated Kirk Cousins. I always admired Kirk Cousins. I just felt like didn't get the return on investment there."
Which is a completely fair take.
Mm-hmm.
Completely fair take. But to say that we didn't spend money on defense or didn't draft defense, and no, we wasted a lot of fucking money on defense, and we drafted terrible on defense.
Yeah.
We had people die released and then died. But
there were games, and I think every quarterback is kind of like that, except for like Mahomes and Josh Allen or whatever. But there were games where Kirk would come out that first drive and just look like quote unquote bad Kirk. And it's like, okay, he doesn't have it today. You know what I mean? And you were just in for a long afternoon because he wasn't going to play well. I think he had like an Atlanta game like that, maybe a couple Chicago games like that, where it's just like, who is this guy? But I loved what he did for the Vikings. Got us a lot of wins.
Yeah, I mean, 13. It's funny how people were like, I don't know. I think Dusty Baker is talking about, if your full personality is that we're 8-2 and you're angry about this team, whatever. I'm like, Dusty, where were you in 2022? And everybody was dog shitting Kirk, who was just basically carrying our team. It seemed, because that defense was
comebacks.
Shit.
Yeah,
with that defense was shit. Where were people talking about like that? But I don't. People we're 8-2 and they're giving up on the season. Like, we're not going to win a playoff game. We might as well lose them all and get a better draft pick. I mean, it just drives me nuts. It just takes get on a hot streak, man. It just takes to get on a hot streak.
But to Score North's credit, this is what they were arguing all those years with Kirk, was that pay less for a quarterback like Sam Darnold, put that money into the defense, let your good coaches coach, and now you're 8-2 with a great turnover or with a great point differential. It's not a fake house of cards, right?
But they failed to always admit that we had the 15th highest paid quarterback 2 years in a row. 15th, right? And we did spend money on defense. And this year we have more money in the quarterback position than we had the last 2 years.
Right, but you were able to bring in those free agents that they were wanting you to do, and it's not just about the cap number this year, but it's about the cap numbers in subsequent years too.
3 years in a row, 15th, and then the third year we're at $46 million to the quarterback, 48, I think, because of that quarterback. I don't even know his name is on our team,
and that's on Rick Spielman for not doing his job to the ability that he needed to.
The shout out to Kwesi for
fixing
some cap, but Kwesi put some money into the future too. He's put some dead cap into the future too, and he did it with
little bit.
He put, I think, 12 million of his. He was responsible for putting 12 million into the future on Kirk and Daniel Hunter,
right? And I think honestly, I think we've been told this. It's been confirmed that came down from the owners, right? They wanted Kirk Cousins back. They wanted to run it back. So that was kind of the only recourse he had to do that. Am I wrong?
I don't know any official,
because that's what I was. I mean, that's what we were all told, is that Ryan Poles was the guy they wanted. Somebody had mentioned that earlier in the comments, but Ryan Poles wanted to blow the shit up, and the Vikings owners did not want to do that.
I mean, that part, yeah. I don't think we wanted to blow it up. Yeah.
Right. And so that's when Kwesi came in and was hired, and their vision was the competitive rebuild, right? They wanted to continue to win games. And Mark Wilf is talking in Miami at the owners' meetings on, nope, we want to be competitive. We want to win even this year. And we expected
Hey,
the Vikings.
I was told this was a rebuild year and we're going to win 5 games. And
So was I. Yeah,
I was being laughed at when I said this is a win now team.
What was our over under this year?
A
Was it
win
6?
now 6.5.
6.5.
It grew, I think, because we did bring in those free agents. But I had long ass 3.5 hour arguments with one of my co-hosts into the fucking wee hours of the morning about we have a win now team. We just need to fill these gaps. All right. And draft, and this is we draft obviously better. We'll be I felt we had a win now team because of 2025 we're gonna have in Kwesi freed up all that money for 2025. I thought if we had our rookie start in 2025, and sure enough it happened not exactly the way I wanted it to happen, but it's going to happen a roundabout way where in 2025, we're going to start a rookie with a bunch of fucking free agents to fill in the gaps. And we're a win now team. And I don't know how I would have people laughing in my face on my show that I say we're a win now team. We're 8-2.
Yeah.
So, I'm accepting apologies all day long. Anybody wants, just, Twitter, at SKOL World, DM me. That you can personally apologize to me because this was a win now team and I feel vindicated.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And they should only be better next year.
And
the year after
and
that.
And that's
this window
our peak.
is open. Like this window is wide open.
We're an older team. But again, we do so well with getting free agents and filling in with the UDFAs that I feel confident we can keep that.
If you look at the important positions, we're quite young. Like we're okay. Like tackle, quarterback.
Right tackle, he's going to be in his 30s now, wrong side of 30, but he's still got a few years in him.
Yeah, and tackle's age fine. Like I'm sure Brian O'Neill's probably going to play to age 36, right?
Yeah, I mean he still has prime years ahead of him.
Yeah.
So I just feel like a strong where I feel like we have 3 years here. Where it's like, and again, we got to extend Darisaw, but again, he's come off injury. But we have a good strong 3 years here where it's like, I say through 2027, where I feel like really confident, but we have to do some things for the longevity. But that's in the future. That's next year. That's 2 years from now where we can extend that window. But the next 3 years, I feel like we're really strong.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, Grenard, Ginkle, Cashman, A+ signings. I felt really good about Van Ginkle. I was like, Cashman's solid. And then Greenard, I thought, wow, this definitely, Greenard and Cashman. Well, you know what? I didn't expect Van Ginkle to be this fucking dominant. I liked him. I thought I was more excited about him than the other two. But Cashman and Greenard, Van Ginkle, all three of them playing better than I ever expected.
Yeah, 100%.
And, a better fit, Daniil Hunter, he's a better fit, just a better fit. Greenard's a better fit. Van Ginkle's a better fit.
And
Cashman,
he's younger.
Obviously. Just a better, who was our linebacker last year? You know what I'm talking about? We lost.
Yeah, Hicks.
Yeah. Jordan
Hicks.
Yeah, so he's much better, diverse, is a diverse linebacker, but can play against the pass. And, Jordan Hicks was solid. He was a really solid player, a great leader too. He just is not as good as Cashman, as far as this defense is concerned.
Yeah. I'm super happy that Darisaw was extended and that this injury didn't complicate things with the contract situation.
Darisaw extended.
Yeah,
Darisaw, left tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I said that wrong earlier. Yeah, he already was extended. That's probably how long did he get extended for? 4 years or 3 years?
I think it was 4 years on top of the already 2 years that he has. So I think he's locked up basically through when JJ McCarthy's deal's up or something. They're kind of linking that all together.
We do have to probably live with him not starting the season, though. I mean, it's more because of
It'll be close. It'll be pretty close.
Have problems with that.
Yeah, it'll be pretty close. He's an athletic freak, though, so we'll see.
Yeah. He just was so good this year, man. There was no flaws in his game, man. None.
Yeah.
He was going all pro this year. He hasn't been to a freaking Pro Bowl yet.
That's crazy, dude. Just completely underrated.
Just because of the injuries. He misses some games. He doesn't go to Pro Bowls. But this is our longest show so far.
Yeah. On-air production meeting. I was thinking about potentially, and this is up to you, but potentially changing our recording on the preview show to Friday night so that it would come out Saturday, give people more time to watch that video before the game.
I think it's a great idea.
All right.
Okay. I can do that.
And if people want to, I mean, we could even potentially, it'd probably tough to make that a live show on a Friday night.
Who does it? A Vocal Light goes live Friday night.
But the live shows are fun. I like the questions that you guys bring in. We'll be doing this every Tuesday night, usually starting about 8:45 or so Central Time.
Yeah. And we can even go even later on Friday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. I'm cool with that. I'm flexible.
Cool. Yeah, I was just thinking about that, how if some people, they're doing something Sunday morning and then they don't have time to watch the video before the game, and then after the game starts.
Honestly, there's so much going on Sunday morning.
Yeah. Thanks, Barber. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks. Any last thoughts?
No, I think we touched on it all. Good talk tonight.
Yeah, we went draft and Kirk Cousins.
Righteous.
Thanks for participating big time, Daniel. It was awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and if any of you guys actually want to join our live show and be a guest, just DM us. We'll get you on.
Yep. We'll put a link in here. We could do a rant show every once in a while. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you, sir.
It's a Skull Doc. He's making it. This is his show. All right, man. Two. Any thoughts?
Nah, man. It's been fun.
All right. Skull Vikes.
Skull Vikes, baby.